Today I have a residency interview, and as you mostly know, the residency application process this year is virtual. So getting ready for interviews has been kind of different than in the past years, but things that are important to know is that it's still very important to dress nice. So even though for the most part people can't see you from the waist down, I think it's important to still try to, dress comfortably, I'm now midway through the process. I've interviewed at a lot of places already, but I'm excited for the next couple interviews I have going. Things that I think are important to keep in mind for residency interviews. One is to get the vibes of the program in terms of what the residents are like, what the faculty is like, what the support system is like. Typically for most programs, they have interview socials the day before, and then the day of they'll have welcome sessions. They'll have other opportunities to talk to residents for people who couldn't make the socials, and then of course they'll have the actual interviews themselves. I don't think I mentioned, but I'm applying into internal medicine and pediatrics, which is a joint residency program where you can become duly boarded in both internal medicine and pediatrics, and the residency program for that is 4 years, as opposed to 3 years for internal medicine itself and then 3 years for pediatrics itself. In terms of how I decided on the specialty, I did a lot of research in college and during my Master of Public Health degree that made me really like peds, but coming to med school, I realized that I like adults as well. And it's not that I couldn't decide between the two, it's that I decided that I wanted to take care of both patient populations. So here I am. Today I'm interviewing at Penn, which is where I got my undergrad degree and also my MPH. So I am pretty excited. I feel like I have a good feel of the university, but obviously don't know what it's like to be a resident there. So excited to learn more. So I'm on a mini break right now, but I thought it was important to just show you this setup. So I have a ring light that I use for interviews, and also this prop stand that helps me to keep my computer somewhat inverted so the camera is at eye level. Good lighting is important, so I also have my window open as well as my background light on. And then I'm just gonna hook up the camera so you can see what I look like from the, interviewer side. Yeah, so this is the camera view. As I mentioned, we're on a quick break, so I'm about to get some water real quick. Something I did not anticipate, just preparing for interviews, is how hungry I would get during the breaks. So I'm on another break. I love it when residency programs are very good about interview days with tons of breaks, because you'd be surprised by how tired you get even after an hour of Zoom. So I'm just gonna get myself some food. And then in the meantime, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the process so far for me and stuff. Yeah, so I'm eating some jollof I made earlier. I know it's a little early to be eating jollof rice. It's what? 9 o'clock, but whatever, who cares? So I think for me, the residency application process this year has been really interesting because typically it's in person, obviously, but with COVID continuing to, ravage the world, the process is virtual again this year. Pros to that obviously have been that you save a lot of money because you're not spending money to fly places, but on the other hand, I feel it can sometimes be hard to get a sense of programs because, you're not there in person. I think luckily for me, the programs that have been in my top 3 so far, I've been to all the cities, one in which I spent 5 years in, so I think that's great. But some of the other places that I might have been more interested in, I just haven't been to, so I've been trying to make time to visit a little bit more closer to when the process is over, but we'll see. Probably wondering where I am because clearly it's not my New York apartment, but yeah, I decided to come home at the end of November just to spend time with my family, just because with the residency application process, since it's virtual, technically I can interview from anywhere, and I'm realizing this is probably the last time in my life that I can do this way, so it was important for me to take advantage of that. I should probably hurry up, yeah, because this break's almost over. And I'll see you guys on my next break. So I just finished my 2 morning interviews. I have another 30-minute break, and then I have noon conference, which is going to be for another hour, then another break, and then my afternoon interviews. So I just finished up the interview day. It's just before 3 o'clock. And what I like to do after I finish the interview day is just go through my thoughts on the program. So I like to organize it by pros and cons. So some specific things that I'll think about and are, what is the call schedule like? What are the research opportunities? What is the strength of the respective medicine and pediatrics programs? And then things I think about in terms of cons are, again, the call schedule, what opportunities exist in the city, like how large is the city, how easy is it to live there, do you need a car, how expensive is it to live in the city, what's rent like, can you get a nice apartment? And just like other intangible things. For example, for me, it's very important for me to live close to an airport and programs that are not, I think, accessible by airports that can fly basically everywhere. For me, it's like a major con for me. But I will say, luckily, most of the programs that are in my top, I want to say like 5 to 6 are in places with airports. But yeah, those are things I think about. I have finished my post-interview thoughts, and as you can see, I've changed to more comfortable clothing. I think I'm gonna take a nap and then probably work out afterwards. But yeah, these Zoom interviews are very tiring. I think people underestimate the fatigue that's associated with sitting in front of your camera for 7+ hours. But yeah, take a nap time. Woke up from my nap with a headache, but it's okay. Still got to get the workout in. Anyway, yeah, let me start running before it gets dark. Whew. Got the run done. I'm about to change because I have a meeting, and then have another pre-interview social. So it is now almost 6:30, and I am now getting ready for my pre-interview social for my interview tomorrow. I think the plus side of having like interview socials is you get to see residents and interact with each other, and it lets you get a sense of like how you would gel with the program. I think at this point in the interview season, they're very helpful, but definitely starting to feel the fatigue of the season. So hopefully I learn more about the program, but also tomorrow's gonna be my 3rd straight interview in 3 days. So I am very tired. Let's get this bread, or whatever people say. So my interview social is done. I'm now gonna get in the car, go to my best friend's place because she made me dinner. Bestie's running away, but she made me food and dropped it off. See you later, bestie. Oh, she kind of thick. Headed back home, excited to try it out. Okay, I'm finally back home. I know it's a little late to be eating. It's almost 9 o'clock, but the social ran a little late. This is what my best friend made for me for dinner. Some steak and some pesto. I'm very excited to dig in. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's just after 9 o'clock and I'm about to get ready for bed just because my interview tomorrow starts at 6:30. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think in the comments and any other topics that you want to see me do videos on. Thanks so much. Bye.